there, how's it going? This is Karma Kelly, and I am an independent author. And today I'd like to show you how to create an animated GIF. So, the layout for the tutorial is I'll want to make this quick because I know we have things to do. We should be writing, right? All this independent authors should be writing. But also, I just want to give first a quick introduction to Canva because I've talked to a couple of authors that I've met, and some of them are not familiar with that. And ironically enough, it usually happens when they are struggling with making a book cover or trying to create a particular piece of uh, image or advertisement for to post on Twitter, and they're finding it really difficult for them to do something that looks really nice. And usually I'll run across that and I'll ask them, like, have you heard of Canva? And a lot of them say no. So I want to be able to spread some of the knowledge to those who are unfamiliar with Canva. If you're a writer, a lot of people assume that you're creative in all aspects, which includes design, and we know that that is not true. Some of us need a little help to be able to create something online that's going to look nice. And in our world, we have to build book covers and we have to do Twitter postings and Facebook postings. Canva, which is the page I have here, can really help you a lot. It's a very valuable resource. For those that know me, I do my own book covers and I do my own graphics because I have a graphic design background, but I know that there's a lot of us that aren't. And even for me, that creates a lot of things in Photoshop. I also use Canva quite a bit because it's just so ridiculously easy to use. You can see down here that I've created tons of stuff in the past to just make postings. For social media, it is a godsend. We need to be spending more time writing and less time doing a lot of the marketing. So anything that makes things quick, like using Canva to build these postings, is very awesome. So I decided to use the same thing for Canva. Sorry, for to build the animated GIF image. So animated GIF is one of those things that we see online tons of times. If you're on Tumblr, you've seen it, you used it. If you're a Wattpadder, you've probably posted tons of them in your books. So we should be familiar with them, but a lot of us don't know how to actually create one. And I'm going to show you how to do that really quick with two resources that are both free and they are both available online. So the first resource we're going to use to actually design the source files that we're going to use to build the animated GIF, we're going to do here in Canva. The next resource that we're going to use is a build a GIF site that's going to take our resources and do some behind the scenes magic and create it into a short loop of taking those images and turning them into an actual slideshow animation, which is great, right? If you are creating banner ads to add to a particular genre site that you're wanting to promote your book on, if you just wanted to do something cool for your stories that you're doing in Wattpad, or if you just wanted to say that, hey, I want to just make GIF images because I'm a cool person and that's kind of what I do. So, you can see here, quick little navigation for those who are not familiar with Canva. If you are, sorry, you're going to get like a quick little refresh. But once you sign in, it's super easy for you to sign up for an account. It's a free account, and their free account is pretty freaking robust. I have very little complaint. Everything to having like all these awesome templates here. It really takes a lot of the guesswork out of figuring out what size that you need your post or you need your image to be in the basic social media world. And even for books, I mean, they have tons of templates here that you don't need to worry about. So if you go here, just a quick look for all of us that the things that I use the most: the Facebook post template, there's things for the Twitter posts, Instagram as well. And if you scroll down here, my favorite for all of us who are independent authors, if we have our ebook templates. If you see here for these the Wattpadder fans and audience that I have, if you're a Wattpadder and you're creating book covers, Canva is pretty much a good place to start. So they already have the template set up, and it's really just about creating the book cover that you want to do, which is great because this is actually very new. When I first started on Wattpad, they did not have the template. They only had the Kindle and the regular ebook, which are about the same. Actually, they're the same size. So I had to create the Kindle cover and then have to crop for it to fit into the right specs for the Wattpad book cover, which is not ideal. But I'm glad that they have expanded their templates to accommodate the Wattpadders. So yay, we're growing in number. So yeah, tons of stuff here. I'm not going to give you a full course on Canva. Like I said, just sign up for it and just kind of browse through and you'll see. So a good case use example is, okay, so it's great that we have these templates, but the spec that I got from this website that I'm building this GIF or this banner ad for, they don't have that dimension in there. Like they have a particular size. And that's fine. You could still use Canva for that. If you look up here for custom dimensions, just click on custom dimensions. And if the website has particular specs of the size, the width, and the height that the banner ad needs to be, then you can just plug them in here. So for example, the past banner ad that I need to do, they requested it to be 728 by 180. And then Pixels Design. And then Canvas will take that and create an edit page for you with those same specs. And then from there you can add all your elements and free photos, text, background, and even if you have your own images as well, you can still use Canva because they allow you to upload your own images. As you can see, I use that quite a bit because I have my own images that I download from other sites. So now let's go and take a look at example we're going to do today. So we're going to build a GIF, an animated GIF for a banner ad for a book, and we're going to use 3 images. And when we do that, then we're going to turn it into an animated GIF. So I'm going to click on an image that I had already created, just because, like I said, I want the tutorial to go by a little bit fast, so we might have to do a little behind the scenes chef action. You know how they always seem to magically have the dish already prepared when they just put it in the oven. It's like magic. So what I have here is a series of images that I created into one block that's going to be essentially one image slide. So if you're unfamiliar with creating a banner ad or an animated GIF, for an animated GIF, the principle is the quicker the better, the shorter the better. So you definitely don't want to try to build an animated GIF where there's like 6 or 7 images involved. That's just far too long and too much data. And you got to think about in the real world use case when you're looking at banner ads yourself, how long are you looking at that banner ad? You're really not looking at it all that much. If it happens to draw your eye, you're probably going to stay for the whole bit. But the beauty of it, the whole bit that you're willing to stay for, it's that it's only like probably a couple of seconds at best that you're going to be looking at that GIF image. So if that's the case, then we definitely want to continue to stay that. We know that attention spans on the online is extremely short. So we want to make sure that we get down to the point and tell them exactly, so we don't draw them in. We want to draw them in a little bit further with some juicy details, and then we want to tell them exactly what they need to do in order to get those juicy details. So I always keep my banner ads short to like 3 slides, and it's usually one image, one image to draw them in. And I normally use my book tagline For example, for Talk Dark and Deadly, I did half vampire, half human, 100% badass, you know. And the next one, I pull in a review, a direct quote review that I got in from the book, and to build some more juicy bits. And then finally, my last slide is to tell them exactly what I want to do. So you want an action word to be in at least one of your slides to tell them what you want them to do. Either it's buy this book today or order this, you know, signed copy today. But you want to be able to actually tell them to do something, because the point of your banner ad is to create some action. You want them to be able to click through on your banner ad and take them to the destination that will put them in the spot you want them to be, whether it's that directly on your Amazon page to buy the book, if it's directly to your website so they can buy directly off of that site, or if you want to advertise about you're reading an excerpt, all of that. You can direct them to wherever you want with using this GIF image. So what I did is I started with this image that I have built, and I try to keep the backgrounds pretty consistent. I try to get the images pretty consistent in the GIF image, because I found that when you change it up dramatically, the loop is so quick that it makes it very jarring to the eye if you're kind of all over the place with your images that you're going to be using to make the animated GIF. So I normally just find a good set of images as a background that I just kind of use consistently, and I just go ahead and just change the copy, because that's really what I'm going to want the individual who is looking at the banner ad to focus on. So I really want to make sure that that changes to kind of flicks their eye to make sure that they're looking directly at that spot. So now that you've kind of decided what your first slide of tagline is going to be, what you want them to see right away, what you're going to want them to know about a little bit more, and then exactly what they need to do, then as long as you have that in your head, here's what I suggest. So a lesson learned from Karma. When I first started creating these series of images to create the animated GIF, I would create a new file, build this slide right here, then save it, then download it, and then open a new file, and then build this together again and create my own. And I was just like, I think there's just gotta be another way. There really is. You don't need to do that. You can create a series of these images all in one file. You don't need to close it out, create a new one, and build it from scratch. Especially if you're following this formula of keeping like your background and everything pretty much the same and just changing just a couple of elements, then you don't need to recreate the wheel. You can do what I did here. I had started this image, created it, and then if you see these icons over here, you can go ahead and duplicate this. If you hover over, it'll say to copy this page. And once I was done with doing this, I just hit copy. And it happens really quick, but if you look down, it spit it out a duplicate copy of the exact same image. All of the elements still there and completely editable, you know, with the copy and everything. But it just, like those in Photoshop, it just took all the layers and copied all the layers and dumped them into another area right here. So you can completely manipulate all of this just as the same as you did for the first image. So that makes it super quick, because all I needed to do from there is just to change the copy. And then after I did that, then I could have done it again, spit out that same thing, added new elements, and changed the copy. So that's what I did. So you can just continue to do that in this same file, and all Canva is going to do is bundle it into a zip file. That's just easier for them to compile that data and then for you to use. But they're all separate, going to be separate images when you unzip the file, so it just makes things that super easy. So I don't want this one, right, because I already have one. So if I wanted to delete it, I can just go boop, delete it. And so when you're creating these, another thing, when I first created it in this file, my mind was going in reverse. So I created the slides out of order. If you do that, that's fine. These little arrows right here will allow you to kind of maneuver them down. So if you want to change the order and slide that one down more, or to this one, you can make that number 3. You can move that one up to number 1. So you can all just kind of slide them around. So don't worry about you actually, you know, doing it out of order and wondering like, oh no, how this is going to work. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. So easy peasy, right? Yeah. So now we've got our 3 images. So now we are going to download them so we can go ahead and create our animated GIF with these images. So file type, for Canva, I just go with their recommendations. For so long that I've used them, they've never seemed to steer me wrong. I've always seemed to have really good quality images when I'm done with them. So I usually just go ahead and trust their judgment. So if they have it recommended as PNG, that's how I typically download all of my images. So we're just going to leave it as that. It does let you know that it's going to come as a zip file, and it's going to be fine. And it also offers you that if you, for some reason, just wanted 1 or 2 of those pages to be downloaded and wanted to save one off, then you can choose which one of the pages that you want to keep to actually download. But for us, we need all of them, so we're going to leave it all pages, and then we're going to download. So while it's doing that, we're going to take a breather and stretch our neck because we've done a lot of hard work designing, our awesome animated GIF. So now it has loaded it into a zip file for me, and so I don't want to confuse it with some of my other stuff. So I'm just going to call it something slightly different because I've done this before. And save. So there. I got my fancy images here in this zip file. And as you can see here are the 3 PNG files. Let's draw 3 slides. So yeah, we're done pretty good so far. I'll go ahead and minimize that. And so now, we are done with Canva. We have created our images. So now we're going to go ahead and move over to make a GIF. So, let's see what's going on here. All right, you better be working. There we go. All right, so there's tons of sites out there. Cause like I said, GIF images are like a big thing now. With social media, they're everywhere. So there's tons of sites that you could choose that will be really gracious in taking your images or your files and turning them into an animated GIF. So I'm not going to tell you to choose make a GIF, but for this example, when I was searching around, this is the one that I found that was very easy to use, and I didn't have to jump in a lot of hoops of signing up to do it. So make a GIF seemed to be really good for us, so we're going to use that in our example. All right, so if you want to go ahead and create a GIF, you can do it here. I think I'm going to go ahead and see if it'll let me do it without having to sign in. But yeah, so when you go to make a GIF, you'll go to create a GIF, and it will let you know, ask you what source files that they're going to be needing to use in order to create your GIF. And for us, it's going to be pictures. So I'm going to create that. And so it'll take you to this page. It's a free, this is the free service that we're using, free part of the web service that we're using. You don't need to upgrade to premium unless you really want your banners to be like really high definition, which I guess an example would be this banner that's they're advertising right now on their site. Very clear, lots of different slow moving animation involved that will, you probably need high definition. But for our purpose, this is totally fine for us. So you can easily drag the files here in this block. And I think it gets weird that way. Trying to see, you have to wait until you get an actual copy plus sign that happens right there. So sometimes it gets a little bit fickle. I'm just gonna go with it and see if I can just add it separately. Or better yet, let's do this. So we're kind of like learning on the road here. So what I suggest is that if it gets fickle because it's in a zip file, and I probably just need to go ahead and just extract them. Maybe that makes things easier. There we go. And it also makes it easier for us to see. So now that we see them, we know that those are files. So maybe it won't give me such a tizzy. There we go. So now you see the copy plus sign right there. Then you can just drag and drop. So it spits that first one in there. And then you can just continue to add your other two. Drag it in for copy. And there you got your second one. And then you go up here and final one. Bam. Okay. So you can also arrange here. So like I said, this whole doing it in Canva, if it's out of order, you can fix that. Do it even if you like add it here into the make a GIF page and it's out of order. It's not the end of the world. You can continue to kind of auto arrange and slide them around in here. See, so no harm, no foul. So now that we've ensured, and I think too, this is a good time for you to actually just kind of, if you haven't already done so, to just look through and just make sure that you have no typos, everything is spelled correctly, because we can always go back to Canva, right, and do like a quick edit and re-download the new version, right? But it's just a kind of pain if you get to this point that you're gonna actually create the GIF, the animated GIF, and then you see that there's an error, and then you just spend some time. You just got to go back and just do it again. But it's all so quick that even if you do that, we learn from our mistakes. It's no biggie. So now we have our 1, 2, 3 slides. Let's continue. Okay, so now it takes us to the edit page where we can put in a little bit more specifics now that it has our 3 images that we've added. So first thing is going to ask you that you're going to give it a title. I'm just going to do print copy banner ad. And that should work out pretty well for that. Don't need to put a whole lot of work on that. So now the big piece for this is your speed of your GIF. So notice here it's using the preview. Even with the little copy that I have, this is far too fast. And believe it or not, this is normal, right? But we want to be able to kind of slow it down. So I normally go to the absolute slowest that we offer right here, and just kind of close my eyes, reopen my eyes, let my eyes adjust, and then see, I think it's still a little too fast. And so if so, it'll be different for everyone, but if so, you can choose custom set delay and kind of play around with the speed. And so I think I'm going to increase it to 2000 and hit tab, and then kind of give it a moment for it to preview. You don't want to hit enter because when I done that first time, it actually saves all of this and skips right down to creating a GIF. So there's still some other settings that we want to look at. So let's just make sure that you tap through it. And so once you do that, I see now that it's slowed down somewhat, and it's actually, my eyes can roll with it. I can read everything on it, and it's, looks to be pretty good for me. So I'm okay with that speed. So I'm going to leave that alone. For resizing your images, I do not recommend you trying to resize your images with the Make a GIF site, or even at this juncture. It should, it defaults to smallest crop, and that's fine. It should do that. If we have been careful and thorough of how we wanted the image to be sized in Canva, then we don't need to worry about this. So you can just leave that alone. Choosing a category is only if you're going to be sharing this and you really want to put it in a particular bucket so other people can run across your GIF and potentially share it. But we're indie authors. We're kind of doing this for our own our own sake, and doing like to promote our book. So if you want to share, that's fine, and you can just set a category for it. If not, you don't want to set a category, it's fine. You can add tags if you want. Tags could be useful if you're going to be doing some sharing for this particular GIF. It also has other toggles that you need to be aware of. So if your GIF, animated GIF, happens to be inappropriate, contains nudity, or not safe for work, then please do flag it, especially if you're going to be sharing within the site, because they're going to be it's going to be available to everybody. So I think they want to make sure that they're flagging that. If you're not sharing it, I don't think that's a really big deal. So this is also the key here to if you want to make it private, meaning that nobody else signed on to Make a GIF or access to Make a GIF can use and see your GIF image that you created. It belongs solely to you under your account. And so I'm kind of like that, so I'm going to toggle that on. And here, to remove the Make a GIF watermark, when you're signed in to Make a GIF, so this is only available if you have an account with them. So make sure that you sign in, register, have a new account with Make a GIF. Super easy. But once you do that and sign in, then they do make this opportunity available to you. And it really does make a difference, because if you are going to be using this banner ad to put on a site, the last thing you want is like that weird cheesy little bookmark or a watermark that says makeagif.com or something like that. It looks really unprofessional, and you want your image to look really clean. You put a lot of work in it. So make sure that you have that toggle on. Now, so, moment of truth. We've looked through this. We're satisfied with the speed. We're satisfied with the image. So now we're going to create that animated GIF. So now we have, the magic is happening. I was actually going to say that, and then they already beat me to it. That's pretty awesome. Great minds think alike. All right. So now, so this is very simple, right? It doesn't take long, even though I know it probably took me forever to explain it to you. But once you get the hang of it, if you're familiar with Canva, if you use Canva already to make images, then all you're really doing is just taking those images, spitting them into another website, and saying, here, combine this and turn it into an animated GIF. And then now that we have it here, it's marked as private. It shows you how it's going on right now. We're happy with the outcome of it. So down here you can choose whether it's going to be a MP4 file or a GIF file. In this case, we definitely want it to be a GIF. Now you can make it yours. You can bring it to your desktop by downloading it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to download this GIF. There we go. So that's our copy banner ad. I'm actually gonna move it to my writing file because that's what I use it. Oh, and I can also show you the tall, dark, and deadly ad that I did. So now that we got this GIF, I'm gonna see if I can drag it into a browser. There we go. There you go. So that's how it looks. This is our GIF image that we created. Isn't that cool? Didn't take much work at all. Now we have something that's interactive and pretty cool that we can post on websites and our own website and advertise and promote our books. So you don't need to find a graphic artist to do this. You don't have to be a design guru or anything like that. You just need to be a little resourceful, and you can pull something together that's really awesome. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. That's karmaj.kelly@gmail.com. And I'm always open to help other independent authors. We are a growing community, but we are a community that is kind of the underdog. So having an attitude of supporting one another and helping each other with finding resources that will make us be able to write more, craft better, and be able to market our books is what we all should be trying to do. It should all be part of our little mission as we're kind of navigating in the publishing world. So I'm going to leave this with you guys, and you guys have a good day. Peace out.